I hope you spiked your hair and turned the volume all the way up, because this week on Forever Spinning, we are looking at one of the hardest thrash metal records ever to be laid down, and that will be Metallica's Ride the Lightning.
Perfect!
Metallica's four legendary members consisted of James Hetfield on vocals and rhythm guitar, Kirk Hammett on lead guitar, Cliff Burton on bass, and Lars Ulrich on drums. Metallica took the metal world by storm after the release of their debut album, Kill 'Em All. And while it's safe to say they blew up after releasing Ride the Lightning, they did so for vastly different reasons. While Kill 'Em All relied on playing their instruments as fast as humanly possible, Ride the Lightning was more thought and planned out. Ride the Lightning used prog rock styled chords and more vocal harmonies, which is something that undoubtedly separated them from their contemporary thrash rockers at the time. This style of more thought out and meticulously planned writing style would be carried out throughout the remainder of their records. In essence, Ride the Lightning changed the landscape of thrash metal forever. Most of the music itself and the lyrics were mostly written by Hetfield. Even when he didn't write a track, his influence and forward-thinking nature are all over it. During demo sessions for this project, the band focused on learning music theory as well as mastering their instruments. Most notably, Ulrich was taught how to stay on beat and rhythmic timing, as during the Kill 'Em All days, he had a tendency to go faster or slower depending on the tempo that he felt. The band's recording sessions were rather rushed, as they had a European tour 29 days after the commencement of their proper recording. The album was finished on March 14th, 1984 at Sweet Silence in Copenhagen, Denmark, and then was released for the first time on July 27th, 1984 on Megaforce Records. However, the band was not happy with the small amount of promotion done by Megaforce and eventually terminated their contract. After meeting with the owners of Elektra Records, they would eventually sign there. Elektra Records would then re-release this album on November 19th, 1984. From there, Ride the Lightning would sell between 5 to 6 million copies since its initial release, cementing themselves as a cornerstone in thrash metal history. The only official single to be released alongside of Ride the Lightning was Creeping Death. This song is based off of the stories of Moses in the Bible, and the name Creeping Death came from Burton while he was watching the Ten Commandments. The angel of death in this biblical story is shown as a green cloud, which Burton interpreted as Creeping Death. This song has become a staple of Metallica live shows, only coming in second place to Master of Puppets in terms of times being played live. Kirk Hammett has even said that Creeping Death has one of his favorite guitar solos in all of Metallica's discography. For Whom the Bell Tolls is one of two promotional singles for this album. Burton opens up this track on bass, however it is frequently mistaken to be a guitar due to his playing style. This song is based on the Ernest Hemingway book of the same name, and is really mostly about the Spanish Civil War right before World War II. Metallica threw their own 2 cents into the matter, talking about the futility of war. The bell ringing in the first minute of the track was actually edited in and manipulated to match the tempo of the intro. Don't ever say that Metallica didn't add some finer things into their music. The second and final promotional single for Ride the Lightning is Fade to Black. This song originally faced a lot of backlash in the thrash community, being called a sellout due to the ballad nature of the song, and it still stands to be one of their slowest and heaviest tracks to date. The subject matter focuses on suicide and death, something that Hetfield was definitely struggling with during the creation of this record. And he wrote Fade to Black right after the band's equipment was stolen in 1984. As bad as losing their equipment was, it only paled in comparison to Hetfield losing his amp, a precious possession gifted by his mother right before she had died from cancer. And the solo at the very end of the song was actually improvised by Hammett, as he just focused on depressing things while strumming it out. This is easily one of Metallica's most standout tracks. The golden years for Metallica, in my opinion, started with Ride the Lightning. This album only opened the floodgates for Master of Puppets and the Black Album. This was the album that took the band into uncharted territories, into pushing their ideas more creatively and forward-thinking. It helped ignite a new push in the thrash and metal community, searching for new sounds and styles of play. In many ways, this album should be lauded for its ingenuity and experimentation, especially due to all the influence that they had on bands coming after them. And this very well could be my favorite Metallica album, although Master of Puppets is a close second. I just think it hits the nail on the head in terms of accessibility, creativity, and uniqueness. Not too many thrash albums in 1984 would even attempt having a ballad like Fade to Black, or opening up the entire album itself with an acoustic guitar. This album pushed the limits of thrash rock and definitely sparked a change in the thrash community. This is one of those albums that you simply need to listen to if you're any bit interested in music history, but you definitely need to listen to this if you're any bit interested in heavy metal or thrash metal history. It's just that good. So, whether you've never heard this album before, or if it is a personal favorite of yours, Metallica's Ride the Lightning will always be forever spinning. Thanks for watching.